So I finally got a chance to watch Equalizer 3 last night, and I thought the movie was good. It started out pretty strong. I really liked the opening scene when he's at the winery in the basement. That was dope. Just to give you an idea of what's going on, so Denzel Washington character Robert McCall, he ends up in this small town in Italy, and he was injured and he was recovering from an injury. A local doctor took him in and nursed him back to health. He starts to hang out with the locals and get to know the people in the community, and he likes the place. And then one day he finds out that the mafia is extorting money from business owners and doing things, doing a lot of illegal activities and, just doing stuff for personal gain and pretty much trying to run the town into the ground. And once he decides to stick around and help these people in this community, you can pretty much guess what happened next. And you know something that they inserted into the movie that I kind of saw it coming because it was very obvious was the fact that Dakota Fanning's character turns out to be the daughter of Susan and Brian. If you don't know who Susan and Brian is, Susan and Brian were friends with Denzel Washington's character in the previous films. They were all in the military together because he's like an ex-Marine and they all worked for the CIA. So they all used to work together. And I think he worked under them and they're all like best friends or whatever. Even when her and Denzel Washington's character started talking, you could kind of tell that there was a connection without saying that there was a connection. You know what I mean? I didn't really expect that. I didn't really expect there to be any type of connection from his past with her. But yeah, I think it was just something that maybe the writers came up with just to make the storyline a little better, because it's been 20 years since they even, Dakota Fanning and Denzel Washington, the last time they did a movie together was Man on Fire, and that was like 20 years ago. I think it was 2004, and she was like 9 years old. So I think that was the reason why. I mean, I guess maybe they thought it would make the story better. But yeah, part one's always been my favorite film, and I know if you go back and watch it, there's a scene where Denzel Washington, he goes to visit Susan and Brian at their house, and you know, like when you go to someone's house, you'll see signs of children. You know, you might see some school books, some toys on the floor. You might see pictures on the wall or the fireplace or something like that. There's no signs of any children in the house, and there's no mentioning of them having children in part one or part two. So I think maybe they didn't plan on doing a sequel because originally, like Denzel Washington doesn't really have like a history of doing sequels with most of his films. And I read in one of his interviews, he only does it if it makes sense. Like he's open to doing sequels if it makes sense, but only if it makes sense with his character, like the character survives and the story the story makes sense. I'm not really sure what they expected when the first film came out. Not that they thought the movie would bomb or anything like that, but maybe they didn't expect him to do, a part two or a part three. Maybe they just thought it was just going to be a one and done. So maybe that's the reason why I guess they came up with the whole idea of Dakota Fanning's character being the daughter of Susan and Brian. Just a theory. I mean, I'm just like I said, I'm just guessing. I don't know for sure, but in my mind, that's the only thing that makes sense. Because like I said, there was never no mention of any of them having children. Not even Denzel Washington, when his character was married, I don't even think he had any kids. So, yeah. Like I said, I'm just guessing. But yeah, they initially said that this was going to be the last film. So personally, yeah, I would have liked to see more action because there were a lot of highs and lows in this film. But then it calmed down, and then I don't know, it seems like there was a lot of action going on with the mafia and all of the illegal activities and stuff that they were doing, but it didn't, there were just parts of the movie that didn't really focus on Denzel Washington's character as much. I mean, it did, but it was pretty balanced out as far as like the action and the drama and everything was going on with the characters that he was meeting, like the people that he was meeting in the town. So it seems like it was pretty balanced out. So it wasn't just like nonstop action and him fighting and killing people the whole time. It was pretty. I think most of the film it was actually pretty. It was pretty calm on his part with his character, but I don't know. I guess because initially they said this was going to be the last movie, I just expected more. So, but it was still a good movie though. It just wasn't what I expected. And like I said, part one has always been my favorite. You know what I mean? So maybe that's that. I guess because I'm comparing it to the first one because that's my favorite. But overall, I'm saying I thought the movie was good. I mean, it's worth checking out. But yeah. But I also read online that their director was talking about potentially making a prequel. So there might be a part 4 later on. But I don't know for sure. I think they're just debating on it now. I guess it depends on if Denzel Washington he's willing to do another film, like a fourth film. So, but that's what they're saying online. It was just something I was reading last night. So yeah, there might be a part 4. I mean, I guess we just have to wait and see.